With the statistic, there is a lot of statistic theories, etc. This is not the right time and right not. We are also right place to go into all these abstracts, etc. One simple thing: when the economy changing, earlier it is the mind which is influencing, not the hand. Qualitative changes in the labor. Earlier, everybody is a physical labor which is affected to. Besides machinery, it is a physical labor which is considered an important source of income for majority of the population. But later on, the physical labor became marginal, and what is called other type of labor, qualitative labor. It is the mind. It is the mind that has become an important instrument or source of income. So if you look into the sources of income, I think you must have studied Indian economy, what are the important sectors from which income is generated. Now at present, 2/3 of the income is generated in the service sector. So agriculture and also industry, they are no more important contributors to our income. Both together is less than 40% or 30-35%, both together. Agriculture and income, we think that they are the major sectors in the economy, but their contribution as far as the income is concerned is negligible. They kept on declining, and this is the income attributed to service sector, where the mind is at the quality of labor, not the quantity of labor. That is determining. Therefore, when the quality of labor and not the quantity of labor, the question to address is if you really want to increase economic growth, if you really want to increase economic opportunities and equalization, and also address your poverty issues. And one important segment that should be taken seriously is the education. So the evidence suggests that economic growth of many countries, including India, education is playing an important lot of it. After the Nobel laureates in economics got PhD for their analysis of economic contribution of education. They try to provide theoretically model building and also providing evidence that education is important, along with other components like what will call human capital, that management other students they know. It's the human capital that is playing an important role and not the physical capital, etc. So therefore, the quality of labor is an important. For quality of labor, what to do? There are two important segments which actually recently being addressed in the previous. Actually, there are some NGOs and others. They are saying there is no point in providing all sorts of, sometimes we call previous, which are not able to provide capacity building. You should build capacity building. You provide that how to earn, not to how to live by providing some. For that, there are two important components that actually these days it is also spreading. I am happy it's likely to spread across different parts of India, and also that is, instead of providing all sorts of CVs, we are spending in the name of welfare, inclusion of equality, but they are not addressing the core of the issue. Therefore, you provide two important components, that is provide free quality education to all, provide free health care for all. One enhances healthcare, enhances livability, and education, productivity of this enhancing livability. So both are very, very important. That is being that one. So then question is, second, how it can address equality. Right? For example, for addressing inequality, you have to address the source of inequality. Wealth inequality is there, but wealth inequality already told is not that possible. Land distribution, land reforms and other things, they are not. Therefore, least troublesome is to provide equality of education opportunity to all sections, irrespective of caste, region, religion, etc., through public education system. Because no amount of expenditure, it is going to be invested. It is investment in human beings, not a waste of expenditure. Therefore, the inequality in the income associated with this quality of labor decline. That is God. So therefore, when you reduce the importance of wealth in physical form and increase the equality in the form of human quality, labor, etc., that you can address the inequality component. There are also theories. And finally, how it can address the poverty issues? There are two statements I think they got explained. That is, there is no uneducated child in an educated family. Do you agree? Do you agree with this statement? There is no uneducated child in educated family. You can accept that. There is no educated family is the below poverty line. I think no educated family is having below poverty line. Maybe very extreme and exceptional cases. Therefore, if you really want to address the poverty and inequality issues, you provide education best quality to the present generation. So when you provide present generation, the future generations also takes care of equality and also poverty. Therefore, ultimately, if you provide free quality education, you can address growth issue, inequality issue, and poverty issues. Of course, not that everything, that may be certain underlying conditions, but I think they are the most. I think they are going to a society which can get equality and good. But why there are certain sections are excluded that are not taken into productive activities because of various reasons. Therefore, you provide best quality education, health, etc. So you can bring them into mainstream of economic activity and then provide their opportunities, and that they also contribute and get share in that whatever they want. Therefore, it can become inclusive society if you address these issues. But why, when it comes to Telangana issues, there are two things. Telangana is considered to be one of the most developed, what is the fast growing state. It shows having cost per capita is very high when compared to many of the states, and more than average. But also recent statistics also show that poverty is also declined significantly, subject to correction. The recent body of the Niti Aayog report states that poverty in India, poverty in Telangana also declined. And also, it is also saying that inequalities in the economy also have not grown. There is also some particular subject to some correction, depending on the data and the source. There's why, despite the fact all these are appear to be favorable, why we have all these issues? The question is, why we have all these issues when we have growth is there, to some extent equality is also there, but poverty. But despite the fact all these are appear to be favorable, but there is something underneath. We have to look into certain understanding things under this to question this really is there, everything is really fair or not. I think that has to be looked into. I think this seminar, I think to some extent, try to look into by taking micro level studies, macro level studies, different regions, different groups, etc. But still, there is a scope for going more rigorous, taking different methodologies, addressing some more issues associated with this field. I think that actually should be the focus of this college take up this. Next one, that we can address some of the issues which are left out here more rigorously in the coming season. So I thank you, Barenda.